Greetings everyone. Google just dropped the most amazing image editing model has been ever made, which is known as Nano Banana, which you have been seeing perhaps in the last week. Secretly, it is actually Gemini 2.5 Flash image model, and I will show you how to use it for free inside Google Studio AI. In this tutorial, just type Google Studio AI, go to Google Studio AI, and from here we will use. I have compared exactly 27 unique cases of this model with Qwen Image Edit model. I will show every single case live with their prompts. So this will be a fair, raw comparison between Qwen Image Edit model and Gemini 2.5 Flash image model as known as Nano Banana. I will show for every case original image, the result of the Gemini 2.5 Flash image model as known as Nano Banana model, and also Qwen Image Edit model result, as you can see. So I will also compare them with Gemini versus Qwen Image Edit model. I will make a fair comparison so that you will see that in some cases Gemini wins and in some cases Qwen Image Edit model wins. For example, in this case, Qwen Image Edit model is not able to keep the consistency of the face or the realism, but the Gemini is perfectly able to keep that. Furthermore, you will notice that while watching the tutorial, the resolution of the Gemini output is really low. So you lose a lot of quality, but don't worry, I will show you how you can upscale Gemini outputs and make them really amazing images like this. You see, this case has been made with SUPIR application that we have, and we upscaled it into 4x resolution, and you see how sharp, how detailed the Gemini output has become. So this was raw Gemini output, and this is the result of the SUPIR upscale of the Gemini output. And if you are wondering what was the original image, this was the original image. So we edited this image with the Gemini, with the Nano Banana, and we added a lion to here, and we made it like this, as you can see. Finally, I will talk about the upcoming Qwen Image LoRA training application based on Musubi tuner. It is almost done, almost ready. So keep watching this tutorial entirely. Go to Google Studio AI, and from here we will use. Make sure that click here and select Gemini 2.5 Flash image preview model. After that, we are ready to editing images. So let's begin with the first test. Click this plus icon, upload file. The first test is converting this Slack message into the SE courses. So here are prompt, run, and the result has been generated in 10 seconds. So time to compare. So I will use my image comparison slider. Let's drag and drop. This is the original image, and this is what Gemini Flash generated from this to this, and let's compare with Qwen Image Edit model. Okay, the left one is Qwen Image Edit model, the right one is Gemini. So this is the result. Let's do the second case. So new chat, upload. This is a fully realism test. So let's see what will it do. Let's add our prompt, run, and the result has been generated. Let's download it. Let's upload them. Okay, the first comparison is with Gemini. So from left image, this is the original image, and this is the generated image. The realism of the Gemini, as known as Nano Banana model, is just amazing, as you can see from this left one to the right one. But I can see that it has lost some resolution, as you can see from this one to this one. So it reduces the resolution, the sharpness, the details are a little bit lost, I can say that, but the realism is next level. Let's see with the Qwen Image Edit model result. So the left one is Qwen Image Edit model result, and the right one is Gemini. The Qwen Image Edit model result was upscaled again, so therefore it is much more sharper. But when it comes to realism, the Gemini, the Nano Banana, is much better. So let's do the third case testing. So you can also drag and drop like this. Here our prompt, let's run. Okay, image generated, let's download it. Let's make a comparison. So the first result is original versus Gemini. The Gemini did an excellent job, as again we can see that. However, the resolution is dropped because its output resolution is not matching the input resolution. It downscales it into 1 megapixels. Maybe it is also further reducing, I don't know, because the original image is not also that much higher resolution. It is 1328 to 1328, which is the native resolution of the Qwen Image Edit model, but this is the result. So how we can fix this? We can fix this with upscaling the result image, which I am going to show you. Let's compare with the Qwen Image Edit model result. Okay, the Qwen Image Edit model is much more sharper because I had used the image upscale as well. And in this example, I think they are pretty much matching. Both of them is good. The choice is up to you. Let's continue. Okay, plus icon. Let's drag and drop. This is another case where the realism will shine, I believe. Okay, let's try. And the result has been generated. Let's upload the results and compare. Okay, this is the original image and this is the Gemini generation. We can see that it did an excellent job. Yes, this is such a good job, such a good work that it is amazing. It changed the end of the surf. I can see that like this, but it did an excellent job. Let's compare with the Qwen Image Edit model. Okay, so the left one is Qwen Image Edit model and the right one is the Gemini. So we can see that the Gemini Edit character Iron Man is much more realistic and better. The only part that it is lower resolution, however it is much more realistic and higher quality. Okay, here our next case. Let's upload it and let's use our prompt, run, and the result generated. Let's refresh. Let's do the comparison. Okay, the left one is the original image and the right one is the Gemini. In this case, the Gemini generation looks extremely artificial in my opinion. As you can see, it looks like it was Photoshop. So let's compare with the Qwen Image Edit. So the left one is Qwen Image Edit, the right one is Gemini. We can see that Qwen Image Edit edits shadows. It looks much more natural, realistic. So in this case, I think the winner is Qwen Image Edit model in my opinion, as you can see. Okay, now the case 6 we are going to test, and here our prompt. Let's run. Alright, this case is a total failure for the Gemini. Let's download it. Let's upload for comparison. Okay, the left one is the original image which we want to extract the clothing, and this is the Gemini result. I can say that it is pretty irrelevant. Let's see the result of the Qwen Image Edit. You see, from this to this. This is an exact match. This is much better, and Qwen Image Edit model is free to use, open source, even commercially usable, Apache 2 license. So in this case, Qwen Image Edit model wins again. Okay, let's do the next test. Okay, let's write our prompt and generate. And the generation has been completed. Let's download. Okay, let's compare it. Okay, so this is the original image and this is the result. So it looks like, let's see, yes, pretty accurate. It looks to me pretty accurate, pretty high quality. We can see that the resolution is dropped, but it is really good. Let's see with the result of the Qwen Image Edit model. Okay, this is the Qwen Image Edit model, and let's compare both Gemini and Qwen Image Edit model. So the left one is Gemini, the right one is the Qwen Image Edit model. I would say that in this case, Qwen Image Edit model looks, I don't know, better. It's a choice of yours, but both of them is looking great, so it's up to you. Let's see which one leave the side of the sword accurate. So the side of the sword looking here at the Gemini, and it is looking here at the Qwen Image Edit model. We see the sword at the right side from front view. At the back view, it should be at here at the left side. Yes, it is true for the Qwen Image Edit model, but it is inaccurate for the, as you can see, Gemini, as known as Nano Banana model. So we can say that the winner is, in this case, Qwen Image Edit model. Let's do the next test. So I will make this as make vibrant anime. Let's see. Okay, we got the results. Let's make a comparison. Okay, the left one is the original image and the right one is the result of the Gemini, as known as Nano Banana model. We can see that it did an excellent job. It is looking really good, I would say. Yeah, amazing quality. And let's see the result of the Qwen Image Edit model. So the Qwen Image Edit model completely changed the face characteristic into an anime. So if you are looking for resemblance also, I can say that the winner is Gemini, the Nano Banana model. In this case, it is not exactly as a traditional anime, it is more looking like a cartoon model. However, its face resemblance is much more accurate than the Qwen Image Edit model. Okay, let's do the next test. So this is test case 9. Let's use our prompt. It looks like the Gemini Flash image model, the Nano Banana model, is expert at keeping the face characteristics. Okay, we got the results. Time to compare. Okay, let's upload the results. Okay, so the left one is the original image and the right one is the Gemini. Once again, because of the resolution drop, we see some quality drop for sure, and the lighting changed as expected. The quality looking okay, it is looking decent. So this to this, and let's compare with the Qwen Image Edit model. Okay, this is Qwen Image Edit model. Let's see. Yeah, the Qwen Image Edit model also changed the coloring as expected, and as you can see, it is keeping the proportions better with the Qwen Image Edit model. There is some also slight other changes. Let's compare both of them. So the left one is the Gemini, the right one is the Qwen Image Edit model. There is not a clear winner in this case. The background of the Gemini looking more realistic, but the image looking more fake. This one looking more natural than this one, as you can see. So it is up to you. Let's do the next case. Okay, this is case 10. This is one of the cases where the Qwen Image Edit model did an excellent job. Let's see with the Gemini 2.5 Flash Image Preview model, which is known as Nano Banana. Okay. Alright, let's download the results. Okay, let's upload them. Full screen. So original versus Gemini, from this to this. Let's see. Yeah, it did an excellent job. The realism of the rest of the image is looking great. The expansion is looking really great. So this is Outpainting. As you can see, it didn't change the... Oh, it slightly changed it. Yes, I can see that. When we look at the eyes, I can see that it changed the eyes. So it made some changes. Yeah. But it's pretty cool when you consider that this is a hard task. Let's see the result of the Qwen Image Edit model from this to this. Yes, the Qwen Image Edit model kept the eyes better. I can say that. It also slightly changes some of the parts it shouldn't change. But the realism is not that great yet with Qwen Image Edit model. They say that they will fix it, hopefully, maybe with another LoRA. Let's compare both of the results with the Gemini. So the left one is the Qwen Image Edit model and the right one is the Gemini. Oh, now I can notice that the body proportions of the Gemini result is not good. You see, it looks unnatural. The Qwen Image Edit model looks more natural than the Gemini itself when you look at the body proportions. So I would say that the winner is Qwen Image Edit model. Yes, the face is also more clear, better quality than the Gemini itself. Okay, let's do the next test. Okay, this is where Qwen Image Edit model failed, unfortunately. Let's see how Gemini do. Okay, run. Alright, yes, I can say that the winner is Gemini in this test. Okay, this is the original image and this is the Gemini output. I can say that it did a pretty good job. Let's see the result of the Qwen Image Edit model. So this is original and this is Qwen Image Edit model result. As you can see, the face changes, the realism is lost. So the winner is Gemini, the Nano Banana model in this case. Okay, let's do the new chat and upload. And our next case is this one. This is where the Qwen Image Edit model did a good job. So I am going to also test it here. I will try this prompt. Let's see what we are going to get. Yes, this is a failure. This is a complete failure compared to the Qwen Image Edit model. Okay, let's do the comparison. Full screen. So the left one is the original image, the right one is the Qwen Image Edit model. As you can see, it did an excellent job for this prompt into pixel art, but the Gemini didn't turn it into an art. It is just pixel. It is just pixelated. It is not an art. So it did convert it into pixelated, but not a pixel art. But when we compare with Qwen Image Edit model, it did an excellent job. So the winner is the Qwen image edit model for this case. Let's do the new case. Let's upload our next image and let's type our prompt and let's run. Okay, this is another case where Gemini, the Nano Banana model, is failing. The authors also said that this model is focused on realism, so I think these results are expected for stylization. Let's see the results. Okay, let's refresh and let's upload the images and full screen. So the left one is the original, the right one is the result of the Qwen image edit model. It is an excellent result, as you can see. When we compare with Gemini, well, it didn't do anything. So it was not able to recreate this image in Claymation figures. So it completely failed. Okay, let's do the next case. So let's upload our image. You can both drag and drop or click this plus icon. Let's type our prompt. I believe that it will do a good job at this one. This is a realism prompt. Okay, I can see that it changed the face, which I didn't ask for. But let's see. Okay, let's compare. Okay, full screen and the result. So the first result is from the Qwen image edit model. It keeps the face as it is, but it lost some realism, unfortunately. Let's see the result of the Gemini. So the Gemini result is like that. The Gemini significantly changed the image itself, as you can see, but the face realism is better than the Qwen image edit model. The Qwen image edit model is lacking the realism. So let's compare both Gemini and the Qwen image edit model. Well, I cannot say the Gemini is the direct winner in this case, so it is up to you. Let's see the new chat. Okay, this is one of the good cases where the Qwen image edit model did an excellent job. Let's see how the Gemini will perform. Okay, the Gemini changed the image significantly. It didn't obey the prompt as much as the Qwen image model. I can see that. Let's see. Let's compare it. Okay, the first result is from Gemini. We can see that it changed the table. So this is not the same table, as you can see. So this is not the same table, unfortunately. It made the reflections looks like accurate. I can see that the reflections are also changed. That's a plus. But no, actually reflections is also changed too much. You see there are normally chairs here which is blocking the table, but it changed that and it changed the table significantly. The rest is okay, but table changed a lot. So let's see the results of the Qwen image edit model. You can see that the Qwen image edit model didn't change these parts, opposed to Gemini. Gemini is doing a lot of changes. It also kept the table as well as it is. So the clear winner is Qwen image edit model in this case. Let's do the new one. Okay, upload image. This was a good test case as well. Let's see how well Gemini will do. Okay, the Gemini result is looking really good. Let's see the comparison. Okay, so this is the original image and this is the Gemini version. Let's see how it did. Okay, I see that it changed the lamp here and it changed some other parts of the image as well, and I don't know, it looks like some unnatural to me. It is decent, pretty decent, but yeah, it is like this. Let's see the result of the Qwen image edit model. So from this to this, the Qwen image edit model changed entirely. The Qwen image edit model also changed inside of the building, but it is more loyal to the image itself. So let's compare both of them. So left one is Gemini, the right one is the Qwen image edit model. We can say that the Qwen image edit model is much more loyal to the image, and I don't know, it's a choice of yours. Both of them is interesting, so I cannot say one of them is clear winner in this case, because the Gemini edit looking like, you know, unrealistic compared to the Qwen image edit model, but Qwen image edit model changed the inside of the house. Actually, since the door of the house is open, we can assume that it would happen, but it's up to you. Okay, let's do a new chat. Okay, test 17. Let's write our prompt. Okay, we said that add a wooden sign and it added this way. Let's do the comparison full screen. So the left one is original, the right one is Gemini. From this to this, yes, the resolution, the sharpness of the image significantly dropped. It added a sign, the sign looking pretty good, pretty accurate, but we lost some quality. This is decent. Let's see the Qwen image edit model. So the Qwen image edit model also changed the image, not it is as exactly as before. The edit sign is like that. It's also looking pretty decent. So I don't know if there is a clear winner or not. Both of them is looking okay. So it's up to you. This is one of the cases where the Qwen image edit model shined. It absolutely did an amazing job. The photo image restoration. Let's see what will the Gemini, the Nano Banana model will do. Wow, it looks pretty good. Okay, let's see. So this is original versus Gemini. Let's see. Yes, I can say that the Gemini did an excellent job. In this case, pretty good restoration. Yes, pretty decent, pretty amazing restoration. Completely restored the image. And let's see the result of the Qwen image edit model. And this is the Qwen image edit model result. We can say that probably Gemini is better. Let's compare both of them. The resolution of Gemini is lower. Okay, from this to this. They differently color it. We can see that the color of the Gemini is still looking like, in some cases, outdated, like old. The coloring of the Qwen image edit model looking good, but the Qwen image edit model edit some, as you can see, turned the girl into somewhat like a more grown person. So that is the biggest issue with the Qwen image edit model. The Gemini is better at that case, but at the restoration level and the details, Qwen image edit model is better. So I would say this depends on each case. Okay, let's do our next case. Let's upload and let's select the image. And let's type our prompt. Okay, and let's run. Okay, it did a pretty good job. Let's see the result. Let's download. Okay, let's refresh. Let's upload the images and let's compare. So original versus Gemini, from this image into this one. It is really good, looking really good. The reflection is not very accurate, but it is really good. Let's see the result of the Qwen image edit model. So this is the Qwen image edit model. Again, the Gemini is, as we can see, much more realistic. And yes, it is up to you, but I would say that the Gemini is looking better for this test. So I would say that the winner is Gemini. Let's do the next test. So this is test case 20. And this is a nice prompt that I made to generate our new YouTube logo. So let's see how will Gemini will perform. Wow, it absolutely did an amazing job. Let's see. Okay, let's upload the comparison images. Let's full screen. So we gave an empty canvas and we wanted to generate a logo. This is the logo that Gemini generated. And this is the logo that the Qwen image edit model generated. It depends on the purpose, I would say. So let's compare both of them, how they are looking. So this is the Gemini generation. It is looking amazing. And this is the Qwen image edit model generation. So it's up to you, your choice. Probably at smaller resolution, what the Qwen image edit model generated would look better. But this is also looking very cool, very amazing. So I wouldn't say neither of them is a clear winner. It depends on the purpose, but both of them is performing amazing. The prompt following for the Gemini is better for this case, I can say that. Okay, let's do the next test. This is the test case 21, and I wonder how will the Gemini Realism will perform for this case. Let's run. Wow. Okay, this is the result of the Gemini. Let's refresh and do the comparison. Okay, so from this to this, the Gemini did an excellent job. It is looking pretty good, pretty amazing. Yes, amazing. Let's see the result of the Qwen image edit model. So the left one is the Qwen image edit model. This is what the Qwen image edit model made, and this is what the Gemini made. Again, the Qwen image edit model lacking realism, but since we can upscale in the Qwen image edit model with latent upscale by using the Swarm UI, as I have shown in the tutorial, it is more sharp, it has more details, but this one is much more realistic as expected. So I would say that the winner is Gemini, but we need to upscale, which I'm going to show you at the end of the tutorial. Okay, let's do the case 22. I think Gemini will do this just fine. So let's copy our prompt and run. Okay, yes, it did a good job, really good. The prompt following and complexity of the understanding images of the Gemini is definitely better. So let's make the comparison. By the way, this folder is shared on Patreon, so you can directly download it along with the prompts that is used. The link will be in the description of the video as usual. Okay, let's do the comparison. So this is original image and this is the Gemini generation. Amazing, it really followed the prompt better. We just need to upscale this image. And this is the result of the Qwen image edit model. We can say that the Gemini is the clear winner at this case when it comes to following the prompt. Really amazing. I will upscale them at the end of the video, so we will see. Let's do the new chat and let's use the test case 73. So I'm going to use this prompt and let's see how it will perform. Okay, in this case the Gemini failed miserably because this was a more like a stylization case and it didn't follow the prompt, so it failed at this case. Okay, let's refresh and upload the test images. Okay, full screen. The original versus Gemini. As you can see, the Gemini didn't do almost no changes, so it failed. Let's see the result of the Qwen image edit model. The Qwen image edit model perfectly worked, followed the prompt perfectly. So this is the result comparison. The clear winner is Qwen image edit model for this case. Okay, let's continue with the next case. This is case 24. Okay, let's type our prompt and let's see the result. The result is looking pretty good. So let's see. Okay, let's full screen. So the original versus Gemini. So the left one is original, the right one is Gemini. It did a pretty good coloring, but I don't know if it is accurately cell shading, but it is just very good. I mean, the colors are very good. Let's see the Qwen image edit model result. So this is the Qwen image edit model result. This is again upscaled, therefore it is looking sharper and better. And this is the Gemini result at the left right now. So Gemini versus Qwen image edit model. I don't know which one is winner, but the coloring, the different colors, the color composition of the Gemini is better. However, I didn't provide any color scheme for the Qwen image edit model, therefore it did a single color. I think both of them is really good for this case. Let's do the next case. Let's upload file. So this is case 25. Let's type prompt and let's see. I believe that the Gemini will do better than the Qwen image edit model for this case, but let's see. Okay, let's download it. So original versus Gemini. Okay, wow, the Gemini did an excellent job for turning this 3D sketch into a real photograph or a render, we can say, but this more looks like a real photograph and it is just amazing. It turned this into a drawing instead of, windows, but it is just amazing. Let's see the result of the Qwen image edit model. So this is the Qwen image edit model. It also did a really good job, as you can see. So maybe it's a taste of choice, but probably Gemini is better. Let's see, because you see, for example, in here, these are lamps in the Gemini model and they are something like this in the Qwen image edit model. Lamps are making more sense. Again, the Gemini result is low resolution and the Qwen image edit model is higher resolution, so therefore there is a sharpness issue, but this is the comparison. By the way, in this tutorial you see this one, I have shown how to generate these images one by one with full details, so right away you can start using the Qwen image edit model as well after watching this tutorial video. Okay, let's do the next case. This is case 26 and let's see the result. Okay, let's see. This is a different output than the Qwen image edit model. Okay, so the left one is the original, the right one is the Qwen image edit model. As you can see, this is upscaled version, and as you can see, it did an excellent job, the Qwen image edit model. Let's see the Gemini. So this is the Gemini version, and yes, the Gemini, for example, ignored the outside. As you can see, there is no outside. The inside, the interior, looking pretty good, but this is, you know, like more like a drawing rather than a professional sketch. I don't know, maybe this is not my area, maybe this is more accurate, but let's compare with the result of the Qwen Image Edit. As you can see, so the left one is Qwen Image Edit, the right one is the Gemini, and I don't know which one is better. Let's leave it to the professionals, but both of them is looking just amazing in my opinion. Okay, as a next case, I will try something that the Qwen Image Edit model fails. So this is test case 27. I will try to make the man wear these earphones. Make him wear the earphones. So when it comes to combining multiple images, Qwen Image Edit model is currently not capable of doing that. The author said that hopefully they will make it, and yes, amazing. So we can see that the Gemini, the Nano Banana, is able to process multiple images, and amazing, it is working just amazing, looking very accurate. So therefore this is a clear winner case for Gemini model. When you want to merge multiple images, then this works amazing. Result Gemini. So we don't have a result for the Qwen Image Edit model because it just fails, but this model is able to, the Gemini is able to do that. Okay, now I will show how you can upscale the Gemini generated images and make them more clear and detailed. To do that, we are going to use SUPIR application. So type into our search bar or check out the description of the video, and you will get these tutorials which you can watch to learn. This is the latest tutorial. I will hopefully make more updated version, so follow this tutorial to see how to install. Let me start the SUPIR application. Let's start with BF16 and tiled VAE. Okay, it is fine. Currently I'm recording this tutorial from my laptop, so the application started in my PC. I started it with gradual leave share so that I can use it from my laptop. Meanwhile, it is running on my PC, or you can use Rampart Mass Compute. So the interface started. So let's upload one of the images where we need more realism. For example, let's use this lion case because this was lacking details. Let's upscale it into 2x. We also have now max megapixel limits, max resolution limit, whatever you want. So this is going to get into 4 megapixel resolution. I'm also going to use auto LLaVA, but you can use newer models for better prompt generation. This is the easiest way, so this is a quick demo, so let's see the result. I'm also using the default preset, so we have different presets as well, like replicate preset 2 if you want. If you want a better prompt than the LLaVA, it is also possible with Google Studio AI. So upload image into Google Studio AI. For this task, we are going to use Gemini Pro. Generate a prompt in a single line to regenerate this exact image in SDXL and run. This will give you the most accurate, best prompt that you can use to upscale images with SUPIR application. Okay, it gave this prompt, so I wanted it to make it even more detailed. And this is a more detailed prompt that I can use to upscale with better quality. Okay, so the upscaled image has been generated. Let's download it. Meanwhile, comparing it, let's use this prompt as well. So this was the LLaVA generated prompt. Let's use this one and let's upscale again. Okay, I saved this image. So let's make another comparison. Let's full screen. So this is the Gemini and this is the Gemini upscaled version. From this to this, you see, the SUPIR upscaled it and made it next level realism. You can see it added huge amount of details. This is how SUPIR works. So you can use Gemini to edit images, then use SUPIR to upscale images with this quality. This is one click to install, one click to use. Everything is documented in the YouTube tutorial. The link will be in the description of the video for your easiness, but this is the level of quality that you can add. And let's see the upscale result. By the way, don't forget to uncheck this apply LLaVA if you are typing your own prompt. Otherwise, it will automatically generate a prompt and override your written prompt here. Okay, so new upscale has been completed with our new prompt. Let's download. From 1 megapixel into 4 megapixel, we upscale it. We upscale it each dimension 2x. So let's refresh our slider, full screen. Okay, original Gemini versus Gemini prompt SUPIR upscale. As you can see, it is looking just amazing. Let's compare it with LLaVA upscale. So left one is LLaVA, right one is Gemini. There isn't much difference for this case. In some cases it may differ more, but I can say that the Gemini prompt is slightly better than the LLaVA prompt. There isn't too much difference, but if you use Gemini for generating prompt, if you learn how to write as Gemini, you can get better quality for sure. And finally, I am about to finish Qwen Image LoRA training. This trainer will support Qwen Image LoRA, Qwen Image Edit Model LoRA 1.2.2 LoRA. Let me show you latest interface. So this is the latest interface. When we click open all panels, you will see all of the features that Musubi tuner supports, plus extra features such as I have added generate from folder structure dataset toml file, so you will not be spending time to generate dataset tomls yourself. It will do everything automatically. We are adding all of the features, making it super easy. You will be able to click and select the models yourself. It fully supports saving all the configuration, loading all the configuration. I am also adding a lot of information to the screen so that you will know what is doing what, because usually the interfaces, the applications lacking that, but I am adding that. So this will be the ultimate source of training Qwen image model or 1.2.2 model. Hopefully it is almost ready. I am doing the test running. I'm doing the experimentation. You see the text encoder caching is working. There are some few issues that I am still solving, not ready yet, but almost ready. Moreover, it supports image captioning as well, which is using the Qwen 2.5 VL model. It supports both batch captioning and single image captioning. It supports caption prefix, caption suffix, replace words, so that you will be able to batch caption your images with this model on the same interface without downloading anything or running anything else. It supports both scan subfolders, copy images, and overwrite existing captions as well. So this is a full caption that you can use. It even has default prompt which you can change to generate different captions. This is really good for image captioning. Moreover, we have ultimate image process application. This is also recently upgraded. I have upgraded its segment anything to basic auto cropping as well. So this is the ultimate image pre-processing application that you need to select any class from this class list or type anything to focus on that, crop it with the desired aspect ratio, then use image resizer to resize them exact resolution. Let me show you what it means. For example, I resized my dataset recently for Qwen image editing, which is 1328 pixel. So these were my raw images. So copy them and paste them as an input folder. So type output folder like crop it, then type the aspect ratio. It is 1:1. You can also type exact resolution like 1328 to 1328, but this will not make it 1328. This will just try to match that aspect ratio. You can also save the masks like this, masks, and I used the person in this prompt, and you can uncheck this if your images have transparent pixels. If not, you can keep it as PNG. Then just start processing and it will start cropping them. This is the way of giving folders. Then in the image resizer, you need to give this folder, and in the subfolder you need to have a folder like this, 1328 to 1328, and the output, let's say, resize it. So when you give the setup like this, it will look for the subfolders, it will look for this subfolder, and it will exactly resize them into this with cropping if necessary. So the image cropper doesn't crop your subject person and try to match exactly that aspect ratio. So this is basically zooming in, and this is resizing with if it is necessary to crop. So there will be a link in the description that you will be able to download all these images and see the prompts, see the demo images. These results, the results of the Qwen images, have metadata, so you can drag and drop them into Swarm UI and directly see how they were generated with prompts, seed and everything. Hopefully see you in future amazing tutorial video.